never been so sure of anything before. Just like I'm in this moment, but once alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take mine, 'cause I will always love you through anything I'll do. To talk about different segment, for the engaging about marriage. Tope Oginnni, let's talk about love. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about all you need to know before you say I do.
Good day to you, my singles out there. Good day, viewers. How are you doing? I hope you are enjoying yourself. I hope you are enjoying all our teachings, and I hope you are putting them into practicing your relationships, in your lives. And I believe that your relationship, well, it is, because I'm getting so many positive feedbacks from as many of you, and please, I want you to keep it at that. God will continue to strengthen and improve your relationships to be what God wants it to be, in Jesus' name. Well, don't be moved by lockdown. Because of lockdown, don't think that because there's lockdown or lockdown issue, coronavirus issue, COVID issue, I've told some of you that you should not allow that to discourage you to think that, oh, this year you don't think anything good can happen again in your relationship or to you, because the way it has started, I've started receiving some comment from people that are saying that my partner's job is not moving the way it is. We are supposed to have a engagement so months, but because of the lockdown, we are supposed to. I said, don't be discouraged. It's just a lie from the pit of hell to discourage as many of you, but keep on just trying. As long as you are still in that relationship and you are hopeful about it, that's something good. Don't worry, with time, everything will get back in shape. So, on that note, you are welcome to Before You Say I Do. And for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, this is Before You Say I Do, our relationship program for our singles. Even though whatever category that you are in your relationship right now, as long as you have not said that I do, this program is for you. And it's a program that we designed to help our singles, to guide them, to lead them, to enlighten them, to educate them on what they need to know about the marital journey that they are about to embark upon before they get into that marriage proper, or what they need to know about marriage, about where they are going, about what they are going is going to look like, or about what is really going to happen. For those of us who have been there, we would like to use our own experience, our practical life experience to teach you, so that you'll be prepared. You'll be emotionally prepared, spiritually prepared, financially prepared, and all of that. That's the whole essence. So, on that note, you are welcome to Before You Say I Do. I want to go on a short break now, and I'll be right back to the program of the day. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The program is still Before You Say I Do on Glorious Vision Television, GVTV of the Apostolic Church Nigeria. My name is Tope Oginnni, and this is Before You Say I Do for our singles, our regular viewers. I hope you are ready. Our newcomers, our new members, thank you for joining us, like we always like to say. So last week, yes, we started a topic, and like I rightly like to say that even though I have some topics too that I would love us to discuss on this program, but when people start coming in with questions on a particular topic, I always like to use that opportunity to enlighten other singles too. There may be as many as thousands too who are having similar experiences that they want to know, or they just don't want to talk, or they don't know how to go about it. So we started a topic last week, which is premarital sex. Premarital sex, or another name for it is sex before marriage. Sex before marriage. You want to see the effect. Is it right? Is it a sin? And last week when we started, I started by reading out some of the questions that I got from the singles, and I tried to provide solutions to some of them, and as well went straight to the topic of the day. I talked about what premarital sex is, what does the Bible say about it, does Bible even say anything about premarital sex, or the Bible is just silent, like some people believe that, oh, the Bible is silent on this particular issue. And I read out some Bible passages to those who watched last week's episode, and from there we talk about the statistics, and we talk about the fear that now nobody is even care about whether you are a virgin or non-virgin. You know, people just throw cautions to the wind and they just do it, and you know, they don't see it as a prerequisite, just like in those olden days. You know, that is one of the prerequisites for you to get married in those days. But now people don't see that as anything of importance or value anymore. But even at that, I want our singles to know that there are still people who are still observing this premarital sex. You know, last week I read out a question from a brother who said he's also a virgin, and is looking at it that it's going to be very difficult for him to get a virgin lady like himself, which I told him that there are many out there, just that they are being silent about, because it's not like the olden days where virginity is being celebrated. But these days now, even people are silent about, they don't want to talk about. So, but there are still many virgin ladies out there. So you should not be afraid that he's not going to get anyone. The way ladies are sleeping on around and losing their virginity, I told him that no, that you should not hold on to that assumption that we still have as many. You should just continue to pray. One day you will meet that. If that is the will, if a virgin is the will of God for him, he will surely and definitely meet one. So we want to continue in that same series again this week, still on premarital sex. And like I said I have so many questions I got. Let me still read those ones I could not read last week. Let me see if I can still take some for those that will be watching this week's episode. Now let me start from this. Say, Ma, I want to remain abstinent until marriage, but my boyfriend wants to have sex. She wants to remain abstinent. She wants to remain. She doesn't want to have sex yet until. But his boyfriend keep insisting. Like I always like to tell people, somebody should not be a boyfriend or a girlfriend that will be going against your own belief or your doctrine. That shouldn't be. You know, you should. There's something that we call space. You have your own freedom of right. So you have your own freedom to some certain things. So if you feel that you don't want to do, love should not force you. It shouldn't force you to do something against your wish, contrary to your belief or to your doctrine or to what you hold on to. It should not be. So you don't want it, and you tell him. You know that some people in the beginning of their relationship, they always like to give some rules and regulations. Please, so this is this one is the no-go area. This one, they will put some barriers. Don't go area. This is my go area. So if you say you don't want it, if he loves you, you should understand that you don't want it. And if he really loves you, that shouldn't be an excuse. Ma, I am a Christian and I'm in a relationship with a lady. I want to wait till wedding night to have sex with her. But this one is from a man now. But she said she cannot wait till then. She said I should have sex with her, even if it is once. I cannot do this because I'm a born again. At the same time, I love her. You are a born again. Then, is she not born again? The first question I should be asking is she not as well born again? If she is not born again, if she doesn't have any relationship with Christ, it will be very difficult for you to convince a lady like this that you don't want to have sex as a man, because that means she is not a virgin. She must have met some other guys in the past who must have been asking for sex and she has been giving it to them. So coming to a man, maybe for the first time, who is saying, I want to wait till wedding night, is like, maybe she's afraid. You know, some ladies will say, I want to know if he can do. if this, all those things that lady will say that makes them to say, me, I want to test, I don't want to avoid the story that will touch that. Maybe that's for her. It's a wonder to her that a man will say, I want to wait till wedding night. I guess that's why she said, okay, if it is once, maybe that's why she said, okay, even if it is once, so maybe after we do once, they will not do. But still premarital sex is a sin. Sex before marriage is a sin. If she cannot trust you, if she cannot believe you that you are complete, that you are okay, please, you said you are born again, you are a Christian, you know what the Bible says concerning premarital sex. Doing it for once can bring problem into your life or into your relationship or into the lives of both of you. Doing it for once can make God not to be happy with you. So you don't want to do, just sit her down with understanding, tell her, let her know that this is what the Bible says, this is the stand of God concerning it, and we just have to wait. Whatever your fears are, you just have to let those fears go. God bless you. Those are just the two that I will take again. Then we push to rest to when we have our question and answers series. Now, back to our topic, premarital sex, sex before marriage. We've done the introduction last week, so let me just quickly go to what premarital sex is. Premarital sex is referred to as sexual relationship between two or more people prior to marriage. You are having sexual intercourse, sexual activity, and all of that before marriage, when you are not married. And we said last week that sex is invented, is created, is designed by God for the married ones. The married one. That's why he said marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. Marriage is, that means married people, you should not defile your bed. So sex should happen in marriage. Sex should happen for those who are married, who are legally married, and it is for enjoyment between spouses, for pleasure between spouses, for companionship, for intimacy, and for procreation of next generation. That is what God designed. God did not design sex for it to be abused, to be used anyhow, No, he created it. Even this sex of a thing is created for a purpose, So it is you that you should find out purpose or why God created sex in the first place. By the time you get a better understanding of why God created sex, then I think you won't want to go contrary to what God says. You'll be very careful. You know that this is what God says. So we said premarital sex can take the form of lesbianism, homosexuality, incest, masturbation, bestiality, among others. So when you are engaging yourself or involving yourself in all of this form of premarital, in all of this form of sex, you are as well engaging in premarital sex. And we also said, what does the Bible say? Because I hear this often. What does the Bible say about sex before marriage? Yes. Does the Bible say something about sex before marriage? Yes. The Bible says sex before marriage is wrong. And I gave out some Bible passages like 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, 3-4, Colossians 3:5. You can go and read them. Then Song of Solomon 2:7. Do not arouse or awaken love until it is so desires. In other words, he's saying that you should save sex before marriage. You can as well go. And then the book of Corinthians too, it talks so much about this sex of a thing and how singles and you should go about. So you can read all of that. And we went ahead and talked about some of the causes. So today, before we went last week, we were on the consequences of premarital sex. Now, let's look at some of the consequences of premarital sex. Let us start from the spiritual consequences. I said it has spiritual, physical, emotional, material, and all of that. So let's start from the spiritual consequences. Spiritual consequences of premarital sin. Number one, it's a sin. For this is the will of God, even your sanctification, that you should abstain from fornication. So it's a sin before God. Colossians 2 that we've read about, you can still go and read those ones. So if you are engaging in it, it will bring in more sin into your life. That's why you have to avoid it. You cannot say you are born again, you are a believer, you have a relationship with Christ, and you are engaging in premarital sex. You know some people even know it's a sin. Some people are struggling with that sin, that addiction. I have people who are struggling. They know, they said, Ma, yes, I know that it is wrong, but I can't just help it. I find myself doing it and doing it. Each time I say I don't want to do, before I know it, I have fallen into that sin. I have ladies, I have men who have wrote in to say, Ma, I am a believer, I am born again, but I don't know why. I just want you to know that, you remember, Apostle Paul also said, he said, the thing that I don't like doing is that same thing that I find myself. So when it comes to this thing, there's no spiritual giant in it. There's no spiritual giant. So don't kill yourself because you find yourself doing it. As long as at least you realize that for you as a person, you realize that I shouldn't be doing it because I have a relationship with Christ. I am involving should we continue in sin and expect the grace of God to abide? No. So that's another thing. So you have to be very, very careful. So most premarital sex, or some of this premarital sex, ends up in pregnancy, ends up in pregnancy. So now it creates an ungodly soul tie. When you are having premarital sex, a soul tie is an agreement one enters with another that creates a special bond between the two of you. I've had this severally, that when you have sex with multiple people, the demon in each of those people will come into your body. I want to believe it. Some people may not believe it. Some people may not accept it, but I want to believe it, because when you look at some characters, when you look at some attitudes that some people put up, you begin to wonder that, are you human at all? Are you okay at all? You understand? You begin to wonder. So when you are doing that now, different characters, different habits, different behavior in that person, different demon, put it that way, in that person, begins to form a soul tie, begins to form a soul bond, because having sex involves a covenant. It's a covenant. How is the covenant made? Through blood. The sperm that comes out is the blood that forms the covenant between you and that person. So you can imagine if you have a lady that you have been out there with several men, you can begin to imagine several kind of negative things that must have entered into. So soul ties are common and they exist everywhere. That's when you hear people say spirit husband, spirit wife, and all of that. So it forms, when you are doing that, you are forming a soul tie with each man or each lady that you are having that premarital sex with, because that is not the will of God for you. That is not the instruction of God, that you should be having sex before your marriage. So when you have a sex with a person, you have given a part of your life to that person, and in return the person has given a part of him or herself to you in the spirit realm as well. In the spirit realm, the two of you now become one. You start to share things, because covenant, sex is a covenant. So when you sleep with somebody, you are sharing a covenant with that person. So that's why you have to make sure that you wait till after you have said I do, as God has commanded that we should do it within the context of marriage, when you are married. So that's it. So it forms ungodly soul ties with you. It is a sin against your own body. Other sins are outside the body, except the sin of fornication, as we read in the book of 1 Corinthians 6:18. Now, it's a sin that you commit against your own body. You will see that in the course of looking at other consequences. Premarital sex is lust. God is love. God is not lust. When somebody is lusting after your body, that's when they have premarital sex. They are lusting after your figure. They are lusting after the physical things they could see about you, your appearance. So there is most times you think that this thing is love, and that's why after the person has sexual intercourse with you, you see the person will suddenly change. The phone will no longer be available. I get all these questions often and often, because I will ask you, people that have been sending questions to me, they know. I will ask, have you started sleeping with this man? have you started sleeping with this lady? Because I know where some problems could be coming from. So when I want to counsel, that's why I always ask you. For those of you that you know me, that's why I always want to know. And for those who does not want to talk, I always leave you, because you can't go to a doctor and the doctor will not investigate you. The doctor will investigate you from your parents. Does your parents have this kind of ailment? Does any member of your family have this? They will ask. Same to the counselors, we do it too. We want to know where you are coming from. Some may be spiritual, some may be physical, some may be something that, it may not has to do with your background. So if you're now using the paracetamol that we're supposed to treat spiritual, to treat physical, and that's why people will come back and say, you asked me to do this, I did not get any result. Yes, even if you go to doctor, doctor investigated you and you lied, and the doctor gave you wrong drug for the wrong ailment that you told him, you won't get well now. You won't. So that's why we always do that. I always want to ask those questions, because I could imagine what could be wrong if some of you are saying that you are having it. So, and lust is from Satan. God is love. It gives unconditional love, and it can wait. If it is of God, it can wait, because the Spirit of God is in you. I know it is not easy. Yes, I've also gotten questions from people that say, Mommy, you are just talking like this. It is not easy. This urge keep coming. Okay, my question to them is, you are in a relationship of 4 years. What have you been doing in a relationship of 4 years when you know that you don't have self-control, that you keep having sexual urge? Then the best thing is for you to do, if you know you love the lady that you are in that relationship with, why don't you go ahead and do and wed her? It doesn't have to be elaborate. There are a lot of people that wedded during this lockdown. A lot of people wedded during this lockdown, and we have people that are still waiting that until the lockdown goes down, they want to do elaborate. Is their choice. Hello? But what I'm saying is that if you know that you are ready and you want to be enjoying this thing so that you not bring trouble into your life or sin into your life, then wed the lady, then bring her home, then you have the free access to her. Then it won't be counted against you as a sin anymore. So lust is from Satan. It is selfish and wants immediate gratification. Any man that loves you will not demand sex from you as a proof of love. They will tell you, prove your love to me. When I have sex with you, it will show that you love me. And after you give it to them, then the love will now disappear. Haven't you wondered as ladies that how come it is when I've given it to them that some of them the love will disappear? Then it means that it is not working. What it means is that it is not working. It is just a lie or deceit to get you to sleep with. So if they say you must love me, sleep with you to show your love for me, then, and after giving it to him, he still went ahead and used you and dumped you, that means it's not working. Then you need to be very, very careful. So it kills your vision. It kills your vision. If you go and sleep with somebody who is demonic or who has one kind of spirit that goes about destroying people's vision, destroying people's destiny, and you just sleep with that without having the proper covenant from God with that person, it will just destroy your vision. We have seen people that they started well, but as a result of this premarital sex, sleeping with several ladies, sleeping with several men, they are not where they are supposed to be today. So you have to be very, very careful. One tends to lose interest in the partner. And that's why for men especially, this happens mostly from the men's side. Some men, immediately they sleep with you, they just lose interest in you. It is like lust that I talked about, which shows that they were just lusting after your body, lusting after your shape, lusting after your appearance, and immediately that they've gotten what they want, they will suddenly lose interest. Is that love? And this is the same man that was saying, show me, let me have you. Once I have you, it will show that I love you. It will increase the love I have for you. How come now that he suddenly loses interest? He stopped calling you. He stopped receiving your calls. He stopped replying your messages. You should know that something is definitely wrong. I'm going to stop here and go on this short break, and I'll be right back.
live each new day. I want my life to say how I love you, my Lord, and long to praise your name. I want my life to be just like I sing this song, bringing glory to your name. Oh, powerful and strong, may my life be my worship, my life be my song. May I praise you, my Savior, all the day long. From the sun in its rising to the night when it falls, may my life be my worship, my life be my song. As I live each new day, I want my life to say how I love you, my Lord.
Welcome back. The program is still Before You Say I Do on Glorious Vision Television. My name is still Tope Oginnni, and the topic is still premarital sex, or marriage, or sex before marriage, and we are still on the consequences of premarital sex. We've talked about other ones, and for those who are just tuning in, this is premarital sex on Before You Say I Do. We talked about spiritual consequences, and now I said before I went to that break, I said one tends to lose interest in the partner, and I said that immediately he or she, he has you, especially for the ladies, he stop calling you, he stop attending to your text messages, he stop giving you attention. Another one is that there's high possibility of breakup with premarital sex. When I meet ladies and they will tell me that, do you know what pained me most? And I didn't want to give him sex. But because he kept saying that I did not love him, I had to give in. And now I gave in. He still broke up with me. You see? So it can breed high level of breakup. You will think that if I give in, it will not break up with me. That will solidify the love between us and all of that. No, it will even lead to high possibility of. So if one tends to lose interest in the partner or feel sexually dissatisfied in the relationship, then there are chances of breakup, because immediately he stop picking your call, he stop responding to your text messages. What will happen next? Breakup. You will be thinking of breakup. Maybe he already has it that he's going to break up with you, and you too, that you see that he's not giving you attention, you're already thinking of, I want to call this relationship off. So now let me tell you a story here. This story is about Rotimi. That's not the name. Now he's a 31-year-old man. He was in love with this particular high school girlfriend of his in those days. And as they moved out of their town to attend college, they decided to take things to the next level. After a few sexual encounters, he thought that the girlfriend loves him. So he thought. His girlfriend started becoming more and more withdrawn even after the sex. He started becoming more withdrawn. And before you know, the lady just came up one day abruptly. He just abruptly ended the relationship, just like that. He said, do you know what she told him? He said, I was just looking for experience. We said it. in our courses, in one of the courses that we talked about, we said it there. I said some people just want to explore. A lady said, I just looking for an experience. Maybe her friends, you know, we can as well say again that maybe out of peer pressure, maybe the friends have been doing it and she's the only one who has never done it before, and now she has a high school boyfriend and she feels, okay, let me just try with him. She did it, and when she see that, okay, this is what is it, and the lady became withdrawn. Just at the peak that the boyfriend think, oh, we should take this relationship to the next level. You can see how far premarital sex that we are talking about can go, how far it can be misused when given that opportunity. So she said, the guy said, these words haunted him for years. He said he felt what, in fact, when I read that story, I was like, for the first time, a man felt being used after sexual intercourse. It is the ladies now. It is the ladies that we always feel used and dumped. He used me and dumped me. And she will be crying. He used me and I'm now seeing a man saying that, you know, he said he felt haunted by those that he quoted her. He said, ma. He said, I just want to have an experience of what sex is all about. And I've had it. Bye-bye. Can you imagine? So he said it took him long years to go into any other relationship after that, until he met his wife at the age of 28 years. I can't really tell how long, you know, what the gap in between there was. But that was just what he said. That was just a story somebody sent to me, and from his permission, I said I was going to use it. So that's that. Now, premarital sex can affect other relationships in a negative way. You may become the object of gossip. You may become object of gossip. I remember this, when I was growing up, my mom had a shop, and customers used to come to our shop those days. And I remember that my mom would call us, the girls, we ask us to come and sit down. When all these guys will start chatting about the ladies that they've slept with. So my mother will call all of us, the girls, and say, oh, yeah, sit down. Emma Gbon Cotton, so be listening to what they are saying. And we'll be hearing all these girls. You know, men's talk about ladies. You men watching me, you know what you normally say about when you are doing your men's talk, and your topic of discussion is on ladies, sex, and all of that. You know what you normally say. And the men begin to dissect one after another the shape of the ladies that they have slept with, what they look like, the one that is ugly, the one that is smelly. And we were hearing all of this. So you can imagine if he doesn't love you, if she doesn't love you. So I don't want to limit it to the men alone now. Even if a lady does not love you, if she has slept with you, they will gossip about you. He will tell them what your shape is like. He will tell them what your performance is like, and they will laugh you to scorn. That's the essence of premarital sex. That's how far it can damage one's reputation. So in the event you are unable to keep your sexual encounters under wrap, you may find yourself in the thick of demeaning insults, unsettling gossip, and speculations. You know, they will begin to gossip about you. They will talk. He will tell his friend what he did, how many rounds he did, your performance. If you are dirty down there, he will tell them everything. So you won't feel good when you hear all this from somebody else saying that, and you begin to wonder that we have ladies who have said that before. So you have to be very careful. Premarital relationship can disrupt your mental health. It can destroy your mental. The guilt of keeping secret from your family and friends. You know, maybe your mommy still think that you are a virgin, and you know when you this virgin, you not go and tell mommy that, mommy, I have been deflowered though. No, I have never seen any until pregnancy sets in or something happens. That's when mommy will know that my daughter has been deflowered. So you don't have the confidence to go and tell your parents. So now it will start affecting your mental health. Now you start feeling guilt. You start feeling disturbed because you start feeling stressed up because you have started. You don't know now your boyfriend will keep disturbing you for it, disturbing you. You know, once you have started, you have started. You will always be wanting it. You won't be able to hold yourself again. So it will start affecting you, your academics, your career, unsettled mind may be your lot if care is not taken. Now, trauma in case of unwanted pregnancy. It can lead to unwanted pregnancy. Why do we have so many teenage mothers? Why do we have some single mothers? If some of them had waited, I'm not saying that it does not happen in marriage, but at least the instruction of God is that sex should be within marriage. So if you had waited, how come you have so many teenage mothers, single parents, you know? This is as a result of premarital sex, because most of them, they will tell you that we didn't really wed. We're just in a relationship and they were sleeping with each other, and before you know, a pregnancy sets in. And it is the lady that always suffer it, because you will be the one, it will disturb your education, you will have problems with your parents, you can't go out again because your neighbors and everybody will now turn you to a laughing stock. So why don't you just take your time and hold yourself? God will help you. So unwanted pregnancy is another thing. High risk of STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. When I said it to somebody, he said, are you now telling us? Somebody asked a question and I said on this, and this is what part of the way I answer, I gave this as one of the consequences, because she said, what are the effects of premarital sex? That's what she asked, and I gave this as one of them. And she said, ma, are you now saying that married couples, they don't have STDs? I said, even if they have, somebody got it somewhere. That means one of the spouses has been sleeping around, because it is called sexually transmitted. We have other diseases, you know. I have to differentiate it. I know what she's trying to say, that we have some other diseases that you can contract through toilet, through other means. But when they say STDs, sexually transmitted disease, this one is contracted through sex. So what about the high rate of all these type of diseases that are you not afraid of that? Are you not afraid of contracting diseases? We have some people that are married. I don't know, maybe they got it within the context of their marriage, but they say they are still treating gonorrhea up till now. Some are still treating some sexually transmitted disease even in their marriage. I don't know whether they got it from their marriage, but some, even before they married, they said, some will tell you that ever before I married, I've been treating gonorrhea. That means that person engaged in premarital sex and got that disease before marriage. If not, like doctor, we always advise that if not well treated and you get married with it, it will result into some other problems like infertility, like, you know, so many weak sperm, weak erection, and all of that. You know, it can lead to all those things if you did not treat it, if you just go under counter. So those, we are talking about the consequences. So if you are saying that it is not in the Bible, what about all this physical? What about all this emotional that we are talking about to do that? Involving yourself in premarital sex can get you into a problem. What if you don't have money to treat yourself? You just go and meet one chemist man, we give you one drug and you will use, and that one we just treat it temporarily, not permanently. And you'll be nursing all of that for all the rest of. So please, let us wait. You will step into your marriage with emotional baggage. Looking at another consequence, you will step into your marriage with emotional baggage. Sex is not just an act between two bodies. It is an engagement of the mind and some subconscious too. You know, the feelings of anger, the feelings of betrayal, even the feelings that, oh, I did not, and I met somebody who told me that, ma, do you know that I wanted to get married as a virgin? That was the covenant that I have with God, that I'm going to get married as a virgin. He said, but along the line, something happened. And she was telling me, and tears was rolling down her eyes, that was a covenant as a teenager that I had with God. And that was why when I was in secondary school, I did not have boyfriends. My friends were having boyfriends. They were going to parties. Mommy, I kept myself. And I don't know what happened in my youthful stage. I got myself this boyfriend, and he said he was going to marry me, mommy. That was why. And we've been long in that relationship, and I felt somebody that I've been this long. I never knew, mommy, that he never wanted me, that he just wanted my body. After I gave it to him, this is about after 2 years of relationship that I allowed him, mommy, he waited that long. And after we had it, mommy, this guy just changed from who he is. He said, and she had no choice. He left him, and that was how he met a Christian who he got married to. But you know, she said, even in her mind, what I'm trying to say, you know, I said this another concept. You step into your marriage with an emotional baggage. She stepped into that marriage. She's now married. She sent in a comment she's married, but she's now trying to tell me that what can she do? Mommy, what can I do? Because it is still affecting me. It is still disturbing me. It is still troubling me that I wanted to get married. When I hear people get married, when people talk about virginity, I remember my covenant with God, and that is what I wanted for my life. And I have to tell her that you have to learn to forgive yourself. You have to let it go. You have to submit your fears and your troubles to God. Allow God to heal you. So you can imagine somebody that is married and pains of how many years is still haunting her. So when you involve yourself in premarital sex too, this sex before marriage, if you are not careful, when you get married, when you start having some problem, you start remember that, and if I had waited, if I had been patient, you now bring all those anger, the breakups that you have, the betrayal from your partner, you now bring it and be using that against your innocent partner, who is not the cause of your problem. God will help you. Then you can be taken for granted. You can be taken for granted. If you are not careful, he will take you for granted. This one is for the ladies. The man may take you for granted because he just see you as cheaply, that you are very easy to, you are very easy to, you have an easy, access. You gave him an easy access to your body. So you can be taken granted, talking to you anyhow. But when they have not gotten there, they will respect you. They will value you. Ask him to carry this, he will do it. Ask him to run errands. But the moment that I've seen her body, I've seen the nakedness, I've done what I want to do, they will change. They will become something else. So now, premarital relationship may lead to infidelity. That's why you see them, those of you, my boyfriend is cheating. My boyfriend, at boyfriend level, is cheating. Why will he not cheat? He has engaged in several premarital sex. You are not the first, and maybe you will not even be the last. Has he told you that he's going to marry you? Has he concluded that you are the one, you are the wife, you are God's will? Has he said that? So you don't even know, maybe you will not even be the one that is going to marry. So somebody who has been engaging in multiple sexes from different angles, what do you expect? He cannot be faithful in a relationship. It will be very difficult. Talking about effect, talking about the consequence of premarital sex, it will be very difficult for him to stay faithful in a particular relationship because he is used to doing it. They never can tell. Maybe it started from his teenage too. Maybe it started from the early years. This is something that his body is used to doing, and he's not used to doing just one, maybe two, severally. So you can see it will be very difficult for you to tame him to be with you and you alone. But somebody who already has a self-control, who can control his body, who has been somebody that holds his body and never messed around, it will be very easy for, in fact, something that he has not been doing or she has not been doing, he can't be doing it when he or she is in a relationship. Then you might face abandonment and rejection. We've talked about it, so this one is even common. Immediately you give in. He just stop giving you attention. You are no longer important. That's when you see that he's always busy. He travels, his work, his this, and he start giving you one excuses or the other. He has gotten what he wants now. So what else do you expect for him now to start running after you again? On top of what? No, he has gotten what he wants. So because of that, you have to be very, very okay. I know of a teenager too. She was madly in love, and they have been together for years. She had no reason to suspect that this guy has feelings for her. Not until when they were alone. And in fact, she never suspected that they were teenagers. So she never suspected that she is just a teenage. She never knew that the boy, because we say boy to a teenager now, she never knew that the boy has already been engaging in premarital sex, even at that tender age. Not until they were alone, and instead he was touching parts of his body, and he was like, "What's wrong with you? Are you serious? What's the meaning of that?" And when he said, "What's wrong with you? Have you not started doing it?" He said, the boy, and I said, "Haven't you been doing it? What is doing what? I don't understand what you are saying." He now said, "What? No. He said that was the last time he stopped. Thank God for parents of such a lady who has taught their daughter. The lady said that was the last time he stopped being friends with that particular boy, that this one has gone far. The Lord will help us in Jesus' name. So you can make you to suffer abandonment and rejection. You can be rejected because he already has what you have. It can take away your self-esteem, your risk of spiritual damage. Religious conditioning and beliefs are a major influence on the person's value system and thought. Most religions advise against sexual intimacies is premarital. If you have grown up in a deeply religious or spiritual environment, you will know that premarital sex is a sin, because your parents will have taught you all of that. That will have been part of the teachings that your parents will have given to you. So now you may find it very hard to connect with your God, because when, like the story I said, the lady said is a brother, spirit-filled, born again, worker. So how do you now pray when you have started dipping your hand into sin? It will definitely affect your spiritual life. Premarital sex will affect your spiritual life. That's the truth. Because the moment you start dipping your hand into sin, even for people who fall into sin, not even sin of premarital sex or sexual sin, now maybe other sin that we know, when you start wandering away from the presence of God, you will know it within yourself, because number one, it will affect your prayer life. It will affect your Bible study time. It will affect the relationship that you have with God. You start lying. You start doing ungodly things. That's when you will know that your spiritual life has been tampered with. So when you start as a youth, as a single, when you start involving yourself in all of this, it will affect your spiritual life. And that is why most of you, when we say you to go and pray, I met this lady. I tell people, I will not pray for you. Go and pray yourself. Go and have a quiet time with God. Let God show it to you yourself that she's the one, is the one. You can do it. You cannot claim to be a Christian and this is something that you will do when you get married. When you are married, you will not call me to come and pray for your family. You will stand as the head of the home. You will lead the home when there are crises in the life of your wife or your children or in your marriage, and you want solutions. So I told them that even as we are talking about relationship, I also train you to grow spiritually, to start preparing to be a father and husband, and as the head of the home, just as the Bible calls you. So now when you now tell them, they will say, Mommy, I did not see anything. I did not hear anything. You cannot hear. That's when I will now ask them, have you been sleeping with this particular lady? They said yes. You cannot see. You cannot hear, because even if you see, if she's not the one, she's the one you will see, because you've been sleeping with her and you already have a covenant of husband and wife by sleeping with her. So it will affect your spiritual. You may find it very hard to connect with your God as you did before. That's when you will know. For those of you that you keep yourself, just look at it, observe it. The moment you start having premarital sex, look at what's happening to your spiritual life. You will see that your spiritual life will start going down. Your connection with God, you feel a disconnect. You see that if you are the type, somebody told me that she used to hear from God, but now she's not hearing. That's just what she asked. And I said, are you married? She said, no, I am single. I know where it's coming. And I asked her some questions. I said, yes, because you have now dipped your hand into what you are not supposed to do. When you were single, when you were not having this, and you were straight with God, you have a connection with God, and that's why God is talking to you. Now, there's a disconnect, and I told her what to do. So it will cause a disconnect between you and God, and that can have serious implications on the future course of your life, since religion plays an important role in your life. Religion plays an important role in your life because you have to be spiritual. That will help your marriage and all of that. So that will just be all that we have to look. I don't think we'll still have more time, but we have to look at ways. I've said it. I want us to look at this topic as a series. So even if we don't finish it, we'll still have another one to complete it. We want to look at it. So that will just be all for the consequences of having premarital sex or engaging in premarital sex as a single or as singles who have not said, I do. By next episode, we'll be looking at ways to avoid, to prevent this premarital sex. Then there are some misconceptions about premarital sex too. Things like people will tell you, if you love me, you will do it. You too, you will say, if you love me, go and meet my parents. All those things. We will learn that in another edition of premarital sex. We hope you will factor in all these potential risks and consequences that we've talked about when making a decision about whether or not to take a plunge into sexual intimacy in premarital sex. But if you are doing it under pressure or out of fear of losing your significant other, I strongly recommend you don't do it. Don't do it at all. And that's how far we can go on today's episode of Before. Let's go to our recommended book. Our recommended book for this week's episode of Before You Say I Do is Premarital Sex, Causes, Effects, and Remedies by Uzochukwu Mike. Uzochukwu. So if you want to read more on premarital sex, please go and get a copy of this book written by Uzochukwu Mike. For as many singles that are struggling out there with the sin of sexual urge, sexual temptation, God will give you self-control in the name of Jesus. And for those of you that you are falling, please don't condemn yourself. Don't see yourself as a bad child or as a bad person. God is a merciful God. Just go to him and ask him to have mercy on you, that you now realize that it is wrong and you want him to have mercy on you, to forgive, confess your sin and ask him to have mercy on you and repent from that sin, and God will take you back and you start living a new life afresh. And I pray for you too that God will intervene in the name of Jesus Christ, will intervene in your relationship. God will be with you in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you, production crew, for this great day, for this today's success again. I appreciate you all, guys. Thank you once again. If you have any question, any comments on today's episode of Before You Say I Do on this topic, or you have any topic like somebody did that you want us to talk about, please don't hesitate to drop it on that WhatsApp number that is scrolling on your screen. Don't forget, in case you missed this particular episode, you can watch a repeat broadcast on Saturday at 1 p.m. Don't forget, on Before You Say I Do, we always help you to take the right decision before saying I do. Bye for now.
I've never been so sure of anything before, just like I'm in this moment. But was alone would be enough. Just take my hands and take mine, 'cause I will always love you through anything I'll do. To took back on different segment, you know, for the engaging about marriage. Tope Oginnni, you know. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about God. Let's talk about all you need to.